See, that's the nice thing about world building, is that you don't have to be good at spelling, because if you spell it wrong, then you just come back and say, "Oh, I meant to do it that way."
Berries.
Okay, so that one we might try and change berry, even though it's a nice pun, because I think that it's gonna make a bigger impression if these names are things that are memorable. You know, just because we have a finite number of businesses and stuff, I think making each one count is important.
Oh, definitely. But I don't have the feel of world's vocabulary as well as you do, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's true. I have it's sort of a bad habit that I got into a long time ago of writing, using naming conventions that are just really complicated and needless. It's basically like fake French, because all the names have weird combinations of letters, and the only reason they're like that is because I thought it sounded cool, and not at all because it's like, you know.
Bielnori?
We could, you know, I just like the Biel. It's got a nice, or it's very Tolkien-y.
Okay, how about this?
We could also do like that or something like that. Yeah, that works.
You're spelling better though. Let me do it with an I.
I think it'd be really cool if we tried to tie these things in with real places. So, like, there's a place called Bielnari's Berries, and his whole thing is he brings berries into town to sell them. Maybe out there, when we start getting to building the outer townships and stuff, maybe we build like a little berry patch, and have it be owned by the Bielnari family or something like that. I think those are little tie-ins that are really gonna, I think it's already cool that, like, if you see Flora's Flowers and then you go up on the wall top in an entirely different district, and Flora's Flowers has a little satellite office under a little market stall.
It is a root-centric business.
Yeah, we could do it, that's too much like Tinder. Maybe just like that. We could use the double vowel that makes it look exotic. And this guy is probably like a little more. He's one of those dudes who he buys like the expensive European watch and stuff, just because he thinks it makes him look more sophisticated than he is. You know, maybe he speaks with a fake British accent, even though, he's from New Jersey.
Or the equivalent.
Yeah, the equivalent, right? And, maybe he's got like a gag where, when he's doing his spiel in front of the crowds and everything, he says, "A tuber for you, and another tuber for you, because tuber has 2 U's," or something. I don't know. So I used to, at my job, I used to sit, and I just, whenever I was not like actively doing work, I'd sit around and write out just interesting names, and then I'd come home and add them to this big long list of names. Let me figure out where I put
That's
it.
That's a great idea.
NPC
Slack time and bus
names.
rides and
yeah, I had a little notebook that I carried around with me. Let's see. Let's use Hondir. These people are probably from the northern part of Anoria, because it's a very old traditional kind of name.
Okay, so how about Hondir's Fine Meats?
I like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think. The other nice thing to do with like these farm type things is to talk, to have farms that are named for where they're located.
It's obviously going to be somewhere swampy.
And I'm thinking over kind of actually where we just were over by the Brass Gate and everything. That area is called Crystal Camp. Maybe we could call it like Crystal Camp Sugar. Yeah.
And it's on the river down there. Or
yeah.
Was.
Yeah, or maybe that's at least where the farm started out. Maybe they ended up moving.
Yeah, see, I like that kind of bow history. Yeah, the goldsmith is just descriptive.
What's a good name for a goldsmith? Well, it's got sandstone, which means that it could be someone, it could be someone from like a more deserty part of the world. who's kind of immigrated here, and they brought their old world goldsmithing skills with them. And I guess the other question is, who are they? What's the target audience for a goldsmith? Because generally poor people don't visit goldsmiths very often.
That depends on the part of the world. There are many places where the women of the family wear the family function as jewelry.
That's true.
And they're relatively poor by American standards.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's on show, hanging off the wife's ears.
Yeah, and it could be that this is kind of a like a regional service where because I know that the desert, there's really only one big desert in the continent, and it's inhabited mostly by kind of nomadic tribes because it's hard to build cities in the desert.
See, that sounds like a perfect audience for this.
Mm-hmm. And again, because they're on the move and stuff, it would definitely be possible that they're the kind of people that they wear all their wealth on them, because if you have to move from place to place, you can't be hauling around, trucks full of treasure. There's also like a thing going on where back in the day, a lot of the big names, the big families and the big rich small countries and tribes and things, they all kind of decided unanimously that the desert was a good place to hide stuff. So there's all sorts of like weird little nooks and crannies that are just filled with old treasure that has kind of been forgotten. It was squirreled away when people were concerned about its safety, and they thought, what's the best place I can hide this? I'm going to go hide in the desert because no one goes to the desert. But then everyone had the same idea, so it's kind of become it's a trope that if you want to get rich, you go to the desert and look for treasure because there's tons of it out there. But it's treacherous.
Well, and there's just something about going to the desert. I know our version of it, the prospectors were looking for silver, gold, radium.
Yeah.
whatever the uranium, whatever the treasure of their period.
Maybe we just call it the capital. The only big city in the entire desert is the capital city of Hatan. And we could call it like the, I don't know.
How about Al Hatan from
Yeah,
Hatan?
I like that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Because I do like to, it's nice to add references to other parts of the world. The cultures that I'm trying to cultivate slowly.
Well, in fact, you are trying to create the stereotypes for this world.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I want people to, and I hope that if I keep working on this, and I really do a good job of regionalizing the language and the spellings of words and stuff, that people start to catch on. And I think it just comes from picking rules and sticking to them consistently. Consistency is key with all these things. I think for a meadery, something overly sappy and poetic, like Golden Pines meadery or something, something like that they're trying really hard to sell this picturesque.
No, goals. That's just like so.
Yeah, that's not maybe like Golden River meadery or something like that.
Yeah, but that would open you up to terrible insults, which would be fun.
Yeah, Golden River meadery. Oh man. So today we're doing a little bit of work over here on the far side of the clockyard. We're going to have another gate that goes into the city. This gate it's colloquially known as the Brass Gate, but at some point we'll come up with a more formal name, I think, for it. But I want to do some work here. You can see I've laid out some basic concrete outlines for where I want the building to go. I want it to be sort of a big round building with a secondary, you can see the second layer of circles is going to be sort of a walkway that goes around the outside edge. And then connected to that, you can see that Bart has actually built some stairs that lead up to a smaller gate that enters into Heist proper. And that whole area with the blue concrete up there and this building that she's built, this is all called the Trotza. It's a sort of a rich district outside the city wall, up on high on that cliff. So I think this is all going to look really good. We're going to do a little bit of work, see if we can get the basic shape sketched out and all of that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to clear out some of this rock, because currently the rock is sort of in the way. But we don't want to clear out too much. I think I also want to get rid of a little bit of this tunnel here, because I don't think this tunnel needs to be anywhere near this large. You can see that the circle that I've drawn out here actually goes a fair distance into the side of this wall. So I don't want to go too high because I want to leave some wall at the top. So I'm thinking I need to figure out exactly how tall I want this building to be before I really start doing a whole lot with it. I know that this inner circle that I've drawn out is 15 blocks wide. So we're going to go ahead and make a cylinder. We are going to make it out of air because we're just trying to clear space out. We are going to make it 15 blocks wide and 21 blocks tall. And that'll clear out a big space. And looking at that, you know, I think that's actually pretty good. Stand on our dot again. And I'm going to repeat a similar command. I'm going to go HCyl for hollow cylinder. We're going to make this out of probably lime concrete for right now. Just so that, you know, I have something I can sketch with. We're going to have a radius of 15, and we're going to make this 20 blocks tall. Okay, so we've got a basic shape. Right now it looks a little bit like a hat. We have a couple options when it comes to staircases that come down from here to the town. We could start here, and we can have it curve down kind of like this. Or we could do a similar thing on this side, and we could have this follow the outside curve of this and curve down this way. That's a decision we want to make pretty soon, probably. It's going to affect the entire shape of this whole area. Actually, looking at it, it is possible that we could actually have both of them come down, however far they're able to come down. And then from this center area, we could have a central staircase that leads down like this. That might actually be the play. I do kind of like that. Okay, so we've laid out a bunch of angles. Just trying to evenly divide this up a little bit. Yeah, I think this is going to be a nice grand entryway. Okay, let's take a look at this. I think that looks cool. You know, it's entirely possible that we could extend this out a little bit. Something like that. Could put a statue here. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, look at this. It's coming together. It just looks, it looks noble. I also had a kind of neat idea. Yeah, like the prow of a ship. You know, like a little walkway up here that sticks out. And what we'll do is we'll find a way to connect this down to here. Something like that. Yeah, see, that's kind of cool. I think we could work that in too. Yeah. I think some sculpting like that will really add a lot of originality to this. You just have to kind of mess around with the shape until we get what we want. Yes. That is super cool. Alright, so this building is coming together.